Monaghan footballer Conor McManus, Exposé's Karen Coster and chef Derry Clark in the kitchen. So if you have any questions or comments for our guests or chef, here's how you can get in touch.
You can get us on WhatsApp 083 360 60 60 or text us by sending the word 6 to 53131 followed by your comment.
Pop us an email to 6o'clockshow@tv3.ie or find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat under 6 O'Clock Show.
Now, our first guest on the couch this evening is a Monaghan man who's been called one of the best forwards in Ireland today.
With 2 All-Stars under his belt, he's also set to face the Aussies for a 4th time as vice-captain for the Irish team. Please welcome Conor McManus. Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Me on.
Now, you've been described as one of the strongest forwards that we have seen in the modern game, but going back a few years, you weren't selected for the minors. Was that a bit of a blow?
Well, I'm certainly not the strongest physically anyway, but no, I suppose back then when you're young and when you're 17, 18, as a young lad, the main thing you want to accomplish is getting on the county minor team. And I suppose, you know, back then I was no different to anybody else. I wanted to make it and put my best efforts into making it. Didn't actually get on the panel. I was dropped before the championship, and I suppose back then it's a bit of a blow. You know, like every 17-year-old, you want to get the top, you want to get the jersey, you want to get the county bag and things like that there. So for me at the time, it was a bit of a blow. But I suppose it's like anything else, be it football or sport or whatever it is, you get knockbacks and you just try and respond as best you can. Yeah.
And how did you respond?
By getting 2 All-Stars, I think is kind of how you went.
Yeah, well, I suppose, you know, my club would probably have a lot to answer for. I went back to Clontibret, and the same year I actually won a league title with Clontibret, and the following year played in the senior championship team. We won the championship in 2006, and that year Seamus McEnany, Banty McEnany asked me into the senior team. So I suppose within the space of not making the minor team, 12 months later I was called into the senior team. So I suppose it was a quick...
You didn't spend a lot of time upset about it then, obviously?
No.
Your laurels.
I suppose there's probably a lesson for any young lad out there at the minute that's trying to break into a team or a panel or whatever it is. You just keep your head down and do your best.
Joe Brawley's got a lot of good things to say about you. One of them is that he said, the direct quote is, you could kick points off a bouncy castle. He says, do you have a bouncy castle?
No bouncy castles, no. And not too many would pay much heed to what Joe has to say now, normally. But... no, I don't kick points of a bouncy castle.
Right,
no,
okay.
Just to clear that up.
Again, can I just say, Ireland's got talent. It's something that could happen.
Listen.
Well, I can't play. I have no musical instruments, no band, so...
But do you spend an awful lot of time, you know, practicing your kicking individually out there?
Yeah, you would do, I suppose. After trainings, you'd always be staying back for 5 or 10 minutes yourself, you know, 15 or 20 kicks or whatever it is, but you'd always try to get down to the field on your own, doing a bit of kicking, maybe, you know, 30, 40 shots. You wouldn't have to spend hours and hours at it, but, you know, just keep things ticking over, try and get down once or twice a week and just keep your eye in.
You've actually interrupted your packing schedule to come here to us tonight to have a bit of a chat because you're heading out for the Aussie Rules series. Are you leaving on Sunday?
Sunday morning, yeah.
Sunday morning.
I haven't actually started packing. I got a suitcase. I bought a suitcase.
Night before, that was best.
So you were travelled up here to get the suitcase, dropped here on the way. Sure, it's grand. So it's going to be kicking off in 2 weeks' time when you're actually playing. Did it take you a while to get your head around the rules?
It does, I suppose. The first time I played it was in 2013, but I would have always grown up watching it, and I always, you know, enjoyed watching it as a youngster. But the first time you play it, it does take a while, and you have to get used to the mark, and you have to get used to different rules, the tackle and things like that there that the Aussies are quite strong on. So it does take a bit of time, and I suppose having played it a couple of times before, it means, you know, going back this time isn't as difficult to get into the swing of things, whereas some of the new lads into the panel this year, you know, it took them a week or two to get up to speed. But once you get going, it's grand, you know.
And what's training like? Do you have to train when you're over there, or work at it while you're over there?
We will be, yeah. It'll be fairly, you know, it'll be fairly full on. When we get there, we'll be training maybe once a week, once a day at least, maybe twice a day, morning session, evening session, things like that. But there will be down times and there'll be days off and things like that there where you can sort of tip about.
You bring Ray. Would you love that? Training every day with the lads.
I'd be a cheerleader.
You'd be good.
You could do the runner. Could you do the runner?
Does it involve running?
Yes.
No,
I couldn't be able to do that.
I don't think that rules me out straight away, sorry.
Now, the coach of the Irish team, Joe Muireann, and here's another one for you. He said, players have to make serious adjustments to their games. They've got to forget elements of GAA. unless you're Conor McManus. You're getting all the great quotes at the moment.
I don't know where you're pulling these out of.
But what makes your game so suited to the Aussie Rules series?
I suppose as the way particularly the way we will set up to play and the way Ireland will set up to play, we will play a kicking game and we will try and move the ball forward as quickly as possible and into the inside forward line. And luckily enough, I suppose that's where I'm going to be stationed. So, you know, my job is basically to run and catch the ball, because when you catch the ball, you can take a mark, and after that, you can't be touched. You know, you can't be tackled once you take the mark.
Right.
So the key to the game is really the skills of the game, and it's something that we've been focusing on this last number of weeks. Is the skills of the game, the kicking, the catching. Some of the areas where we feel we can hurt Australia, rather than focusing on, say, the tackle or things like that there, because that's where they're strong, that's where they're good at. So we'll focus on what we're good at and try and beat them that way, you know.
This is going to be your fourth trip, is that right?
Yeah,
Out?
fourth series, second trip to Australia, but the fourth.
Oh, fourth series, okay. And you've spent some time over there. Have you been tempted at all to make a move? Because plenty of GAA stars do go over to the Australian
well, I was
Football
approached
League.
back in 2013. I think Essendon would have got on to me on the back of the 2013 Test series that we played in November. I think they thought I was a wee bit younger. I was fresh-faced back then. They thought I was a wee bit younger than I was, or they thought I was younger. So they're sort of recruiting Irish guys who are sort of 19, 20, you know, guys that they can take in young and sort of train them up. You know, that sort of way. I was 23 or 4 at the time.
You were 23 and over the hill.
Yeah.
Where is that it?
Past it.
Come on.
Wow.
So look at it. They asked me down for a 2.5-3 week trial, but nothing really came of it. But I suppose if something like that had come earlier, it's something you'd have to give serious thought to. You know, the opportunity to play professionally and you know, earn your money as a professional athlete is something that you certainly wouldn't turn down straight away. But like that, you'll never know what you do until you're in that position. There's several Gaelic lads, young lads, have gone down, and they speak of homesickness being a major thing. Some lads have come home after 2 or 3 weeks, you know, so you never really know what you say or do until you're in that position.
Yeah,
absolutely.
really. How's the hip? We were reading, there's talk about hip replacement.
Hips get an awful lot of coverage. You know, I have an ongoing hip problem, but it's just a matter of managing it, and I do quite a bit of rehab on it and things like that just to keep right. But it's something that'll probably pop its head up later in life, but at the minute it's grand.
You don't want your hip popping. I'm pretty sure that as a GA player, you don't want it popping.
Popping hip.
What's it from? Where did it all start from?
I think it's fairly common in Gaelic now, is hip problems. You know, years ago it was knees and cruciate ligaments and things which obviously still exist, but hip arthroscopy is the name of the surgery I had, whereby the ball and socket, there's bone clanging together and
Happy dinner time.
Yeah, something like that. So it's something that a lot of GAA players are getting at the minute. I know several lads that I'd be talking to, you know, in different counties, and they're all struggling with it. And where it's coming from, nobody really seems to know. Probably the high level of sport and the amount of training and the load that all GAA players are doing now, probably a contributing factor. But whilst you're still fit to play, you'll play and be worried about it.
And you've got to watch
later in life.
We'll let you sit for a while. We'll let you sit for a while. It'll be grand.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in with our next guest of the evening, who joins Jerry Clark in the kitchen. It's TV presenter Karen Coster.
Hello.
Karen, how are your hips?
My hips are good.
Everyone's hips are all right. Okay, that's fine. We've got to check. We've got to make sure.
Well, they have served you well.
They have.
Just wondering, with your 2 young boys, JJ and Finn, are you going to be, you know, having to get up at ungodly hours at the weekend to drag them around to GAA practice at a million different places? Have you thought about that?
I'm not in that zone yet. They're only 2 and 1.
Yeah.
It's coming.
So it's still
It's coming, do you hear this?
But I think of all sports, I'd love them to play GAA. I really would. Like, but no, I'm still. I mean, if we get to the park on the bikes, that's like an achievement for us. But they do start to turn feral, and you know, 2 hours in the house is like, okay, we all need to get out. The cabin fever sets in. So yeah.
What a way to sell kids. They turn feral.
Don't sell
It's
kids.
Fantastic.
Enjoy them.
Done deal. Right, we'll be chatting more to Karen about her new documentary in just a few minutes, but let's see what ingredients we need for tonight's dish. It's fish tonight, Derry, is it?
It's fish, stone bass, Dublin Bay prawns, or any prawns actually would be quite nice for this. Leeks, baby leeks or leeks, shallot. I'm looking at what I have here.
You do.
Fish stock, cream, and white wine. Oh, and very important, saffron.
Saffron.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice key.
Lovely.
part of this.
I've never heard of stone bass.
It's like a wreck bass, you know, it's, stone bass, this is the season for it.
Okay.
I'm
Time of year, and this is from Clogherhead.
Very nice.
Yes.
He's got a bucket of wine and a bucket of cream over there. I'm delighted. I'm happy.
Yay!
And butter.
And butter. Actually, butter as well.
Fine. Now
Don't
we
forget
just
the
need
butter.
the chips. The chips coming up after the break. Karen will be down on the couch with more chat. Plus, Connor will be staying with us as well. So get your comments and questions in for our guests, or indeed for Derry. It's WhatsApp 0833 60 60 60, and we'll see you back here in 3 minutes.